It's almost like we prepared that earlier. Oh, hang on. Booming shot. There we go. That's better. Right. Okay. Well, this is my epic quest to play through the entire Lone Wolf Adventure series live online. Not many people watch this stream. You know what? I don't care, because I'm gonna play all of these, and you can join me if you're watching the chat and you come in at any point and we're live. If you want to make some suggestions about the choices, then please chime in. But for now, I have a young Padawan who's come to assist me all the way from the land of Breezy in Iraq. Or is it Iran? I forget now. Here he is. Alex Tabrizi, one of my oldest friends, and by that I mean one of my youngest oldest friends.
Where did you get that intro from?
Oh, mate, it's the wonders of magic cinema. I've got to give Gary Bolter from Outcasts Australia a shout out with that. Now, I'm not too well tonight, so I might be coughing a bit and need to drink lots of water. But you know what? I just can't stay in bed any longer. I've missed the last couple of Outcast classes as well. But I am determined to make the most of each day. So I'm putting on my magic Lone Wolf gloves. Ha ha! I say that these are actually to stop your hands from shaking, and you can do that. And it makes them warm. Or I could be casting a spell. So, Alex, are you familiar with the world of Lone Wolf? Let me put myself further.
Well, you told me about it, so I'm as familiar as that as a 5-minute conversation.
Well, we're doing the second book today. I think Desert Phoenix is probably the one chap who's watching, because he always comes in and watches. But anyway, and we do get other people popping in from time to time. Let me show you what it's all about. So it's almost as if I, actually prepared. So this is the world of Magnamund. You do get a map inside the book itself. That's one thing I always really liked about this series of books, as opposed to the fighting fantasy ones, which were basically set within the world of D&D. This is the creation of Joe Deaver and Gary Chalk, who did the original artwork. So here's the map that comes in the book, but in the original books, you always got a colour one. And I have the original prints of the first 10 books also. Oops, sorry, dropping pictures and flags everywhere. And here is the original book, you see, with the very similar to the map that we've got displayed. That's the original cover of Fire on the Water, which actually I really like, with this kind of cool wizard character on the front. And that's Gary Chalk's artwork right there.
Talented guy.
He is, yeah. He had a certain style, quite, very cartoonish, but I really liked it. And I've got all 10 of the original first edition books there. I stopped collecting them after book 10, I think, because by then I was into less goblin, orc, dragon orientated things.
And into girls, hopefully.
That was it, yeah. That was the thing that stopped my gaming and wargaming and hobbies and whatnot. And also, I think I began on that arduous struggle of trying to, make films. So look how well that worked out. So anyway, so this is where it's set. So let me give you a little bit of backstory. So over here on the left, if you look here, you can see that is the Kai Monastery, which is kind of in the foothills of Summerland. And Holmgard is the capital of this particular kingdom. And in the first book, the monastery, which is full of these Kai trainees, they're kind of like the Jedi. It was attacked, and I'm like my character, who's called Lone Wolf, or Lone Wolf Lancy in this case. He's he's like a sort of Jedi in training almost, and the Kai do have they do have special abilities. They have skills, so they're particularly good with like animals and hunting and that sort of thing. But they can also do things with their minds. If they train hard enough, they can do stuff like move objects. They've also got yeah,
Like
yeah. I know you do that every morning, right? That same sound. And then they can also they've also got like a blocking power and stuff like that. Now, every time you complete a book, you get to add a new skill, because you start off with 5 from a selection of 10, I think there is. And every time you start a new book, you add a new one. So I'm going to tell you what I've got already, and I'm going to tell you what ones are still going, and you're going to pick the new skill for me.
Can we
So already
skip to book? Can we skip to book 9 and acquire all the skills, and
No.
then just last through the last one?
That would be cheating, Alex. Right. I need you to embrace the heart of gameplay here. All right. So so basically, I've already got hunting, which is good for like going and killing animals and things in case I run out of food. I've got healing, which in any section of the book where I'm not involved in a fight, I can do a heal and I can restore 2 endurance points, same as hit points. My current endurance is 22. If it goes to 0, I die. Okay. My combat skill, by the way, is 18. But with all the pluses that I've got for weapons and things, at the minute it's also 22, because I've got +2 for a sword, because I'm really good with this particular sword, and I've got +2 with this Kai shield that I managed to pick up. So I've got a +4 to my combat rating. So anyway, so I've got hunting, I've got healing, I've got mind over matter, which was the thing you just demonstrated earlier. I've got tracking, and I've got a weapon skill, which is +2 with my broadsword. So with the number 6, I could pick another weapon to be proficient at with +2, but I think that's a waste. I wouldn't go with that, because you usually carry and use the same weapon unless you happen to lose it. So these are the other things that you could pick. You could pick camouflage, enabling me to blend into my surroundings. You could pick Sixth Sense. Now that enables you to spot dodgy film producer types at the Cannes Film Festival and stop you from going into business with them and thus destroying your life. So that could be quite useful. Then there are more of the sort of Jedi type ones. There is Mind Shield, which you can use to block other bad guys that have like a mind energy weapon.
Right.
You've got Mind Blast, similar to the thing you demonstrated earlier, and then Animal Kinship. So basically, Mind Shield, Mind Blast, Animal Kinship, Camouflage.
Animal kinship, is that sort of becoming a cosplay, a giant furry cat or something?
No, that doesn't mean that you're down with the furries. It means that you can talk to birds and that kind of shit. I'll tell you what I'll read what it says. This skill enables a Kai to communicate with some animals and predict the behavior of others. In some cases, it can permit a Kai to control an animal's instincts and actions. So there you go. So we could pick that one, or we could pick Camouflage, or Sixth Sense, Mind Shield, or Mind Blast. Okay, I'm going to let you choose. So what am I having?
No, what kind of animals are there in the wild about this place?
Bears, bats, snakes, goblins. I have to admit, in the first book, there was not a lot of opportunities to use animal kinship. And I think in the second,
squirrel, would you want to fuck off Great Big Bear?
But in the second book, we're mainly going to be at sea, so I feel the opportunity to use animal kinship is going to be pretty limited. Unless we suddenly get attacked by a killer whale. But it's your call. So the other ones are Mind Shield, Mind Blast, Camouflage, or Sixth Sense? Sixth Sense could be pretty useful. Warn a Kai of imminent danger, or reveal the true purpose of a stranger or strange object.
Let's go with that. Oh, actually, what was the first one you said?
Camouflage.
Yeah.
Sixth Sense.
Well, Desert Phoenix says Mind Shield, so let's go with that.
Desert Phoenix says Mind Shield. There he is. Good to have you with us, Desert Phoenix. I can always depend on you showing up, mate. So obviously, when I've got 100,000 subscribers and 7 people are watching this, your comments will always get priority. Normally I'm moderating the Critical Drinkers channel tonight. He's only got 5,500 people watching. So bless him. They're discussing the Oscar nominations. What did you think of the Oscar nominations, Alex, by the way?
I don't really follow it, to be
fair. I wasn't like waiting with bated breath. I'm glad that Top Gun Maverick's been nominated for quite a few things. That's nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, it'd be great if it got Best Picture. I don't think it will, but it'd be like the first time an action film's ever got Best Picture. So, all right. So, are we going with Sixth Sense or Mind Shield? Mind Shield, you said.
Mind Shield. Let's do it.
You're going to go with Desert Phoenix's advice. Okay. All right.
It's, to protect all those dirty thoughts other people have about us.
Yeah, that's right. To protect us from internet porn and that sort of thing. That's what Mind Shield is for. Okay, so look, on this, the summary of our mission, I won't read out the whole thing, but I'll give you the nuts and bolts. So, right, okay. So basically, I escaped from the monastery. After much fuckery, I managed to get to the capital here. Can you see my mouse on there? No, you can't. Okay.
I did before. I've lost it. Just give it a waggle.
Give it a waggle. It's weird, isn't it?
Can't see
How
anymore.
strong? I'll tell you what. Let me stop sharing screen.
Just give me coordinate or something.
Coordinate. Let me do it again. See if it pops up.
You need like a fucking grid or something.
All right. Well, anyway, so look to the left side of the image, and you can see the two capitals. They're the two big cities. So you've got the one on the left, Holmgard. We got there. That's where we're starting. And we've got to get to the capital. We've got to travel to Durenor and present the seal of Hammerdal. That's basically the seal that represents the king of this particular. We've got to take it to King Aurin, because he vowed that if ever there was a shadow in the west was to rise again to threaten Summerland, then the loyal Durenor, so that's the country on the right, would come to the aid of her ally. So King Olnar V has given you the seal of Hammerdal. Your mission and duty is to travel to Durenor and present the seal to its current ruler, King Olnar IV. In return, he will give you the fabled Sommerswerd. Now, it's spelled Sommerswerd.
Sommerswerd.
It's spelled like this. I always called it when I was a kid.
Sounds like if someone dipped their index finger in a tub of ice cream and then just gave you a wet willy or something.
Yeah, and basically I think that's what they were thinking. So it's spelled like that, Sommerswerd.
Sommerswerd.
I think in local language. In local language, it probably means summer sword. So it's expected that we'll be given that, which can be used against the Dark Lord Zagana. Dark Lord Zagana is the guy, by the way, whose forces have invaded. Since your arrival at the King's Citadel in Holmgard, word has arrived that Zagana's forces have broken through the city's outer defences and are now preparing to besiege the great walls of the capital itself. As Captain Deval of the King's Guard escorts you to the Royal Armoury in order that you may equip yourself for your journey to Durenor, King Olnar's parting words to you keep repeating themselves in your mind. 40 days, Lone Wolf.
40 days.
We have strength to stand against the Dark Lord Zagama's armies for only 40 days. Do you want to try saying that line again?
No. I can't outdo you.
Oh, you were quite good as that old man just then. For 40 days, lone
Supply
wolf.
of oat milk is
We
diminished
only-
after 40 days.
We only have strength to stand against the Dark Lord Sagana's armies for 40 days. How's that? Was that good?
It's pretty good. So can you buy another set of books and play as the opposite side?
Do you know what? That'd be a great idea, but no, you can't. Okay, so now I've already updated my equipment and all the rest of it. So just to let you know, in terms of what I'm carrying, I am carrying that magical shield that gives me +2. I've got a +1 broadsword, and I get +2 when using a broadsword. Oh, right. So actually, my combat skill is +5. So it's 23. +3 for using the sword, because the sword is slightly magical. It's a weenie magical sword. It's only +1.
Sounds
so
about right for you.
It's a +1 broadsword. I'm really skillful with the broadsword, so I get +2, so that's +3, and I've got +2 for my shield. I've got 10 meals. I've got a crystal star pendant. I've got an Alethea potion. I forget what that does, and I've got a Lampsper potion, which cures you of 4 endurance points that you can drink, which would save me from using the healing ability, because I can only use the healing ability per adventure 10 times. So in other words, I can heal 20 points, 10 lots of 2. Okay. All right. I've got a dice rolling app for the die rolling. Now, in this book, the main route to get across to the city is via boat. But I think there is also a way of getting there by land, or at least partially by land. Probably if you land, maybe if you get off your boat in that town in the middle, which I'm having trouble reading. Let me enlarge the map on my screen. It's called Raggadorn, which is above the wildlands, that kind of desert area in the middle there. There's Portback, which I'm guessing is where we're going, and then we've got to get into Hammerdal. And can you see the road that goes to the east of Portback? It goes through a tunnel in the mountains.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm guessing we're going to go that way. So the army which is sieging us is sieging the city. So the only way out is by boat initially. Okay, so here we go. So we're starting the adventure. I can tell your grips, Alex. Exciting times. Okay, so here we go. Your mission will be one fraught with great danger. Ready for a change? For the servants of Dark Lord Sagana are ruthless, and they give their enemies no mercy. Use the map to help you steer in the correct course for Hammerdal, the capital city of Durenor, and make notes as you progress. Many things that you find will aid you during your travels. Some items will be of use in future Lone Wolf adventures. Others, such as the fake breezy beard, may be a red herring and of no use at all. There are several routes to Hammerdal, but only one will enable you to retrieve the Sommerswerd and return to Holmgard with the minimum of danger. With a wise choice of Kai disciplines and a great deal of courage, any player should be able to complete the mission, no matter how weak their initial combat skill or endurance points. Well, my combat skill is really good. My endurance points are quite weak. Oh, look, I've frozen on camera by the looks of things. Let me just minimize that. Yeah, I've frozen on YouTube. I'm going to refresh it.
I can still see you.
Oh, there you go. I'm moving. That's all right. Okay, so now if I need to pop for a wee at any point, obviously you can take over and keep the audience entertained with an Iranian folk song or something. Okay, so here we go, Alex. So we're on number 1. Let me stop sharing for a second. So your book basically looks like this. It's got a whole load of series of numbers, you see.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I'll read it number 1. Captain Duval and the detachment of his guardsmen escort you to the gate of the King's Citadel, where a small covered wagon awaits you. As soon as you clamber in the back, the gates are thrown open, and you are hurried away through the crowded streets of Holmgard after a short and uncomfortable journey, because, no cushions. The wagon halts, and the driver pulls open the canvas flap. This is the Holmgard Quay, my liege. There is your ship, the Green Scepter. He points across the busy dockside to a sleek trade cavacle anchored alongside the harbour wall. There's a weeny picture of it. Josh, there it is. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's pretty good, actually.
It's quite tiny. I think that's an original Gary Chalk, I think. They've redone the covers, but I think all the interior art is still his. Okay, so the captain then says, the first mate's name is Ronan Keating. Well, it's Ronan anyway. You will find him waiting for you across at the Good Cheer Inn. Well, where else would you stay but the Good Cheer Inn? Then the driver bids you farewell. Farewell, Lone Wolf. I feel like I'm reading an episode of Jack and Ori. Yeah, feel free to jump in with impressions any time, because it will just make it that much more watchable. You push through the crowd and reach the inn, only to discover that its front doors are locked and all of its window shutters are barred and padlocked. There's a big sign that says no gingers. Fucking hell, man. They must have seen us coming. What's going on?
Wow.
You are thinking what to do next when a hand grabs your arm and you are pulled into the darkness. This sort of thing happens to you all the time, Alex. Okay, Alex, here's your first decision. So somebody's grabbed my arm, pulled me into the darkness. If you wish to draw your weapon and attack your unknown assailant, turn to 273, and then that's when you find it's a kid going, have you seen my daddy? Or something.
No.
If you wish to try and pull free of their strong grasp, turn to 160. So try and pull free or turn and attack.
Oh, well. Turn and attack. Because we're not going to kill them at this point. I mean, they're obviously going to give us some information.
Well, I'm going with your decision. They might not be an enemy at all. 273. You're about to strike your assailant when he shouts, I am Ronan, my liege. I mean you no harm. And promptly craps himself.
Can we
manage
kill him
to turn aside your blow at the last minute, and your weapon smashes the back off a wooden tavern chair. Okay. Oh, there's outside.
It's like I've got no free will. I would have cut him down.
Well, you only get to choose to a certain degree. Just keep that in mind.
Right.
What we don't want to do is turn to a section that says your journey ends here at the end. That means we've died. All right. We're trying to avoid that. Okay. So the beads of sweat that have broken out on the sailor's brow appear to confirm that he's telling the truth. Well, of course so. Well, if there's beads of sweat, I mean, Oh, by the way, man, do you like my t-shirt?
I can't quite come up a bit.
Hang on.
You're Oh yeah, that's nice. That's cool. Not seen that film for so long.
Oh mate, hang on. We've got an opportunity to show the clown horn here. So if I do the first bit, you can do the last bit. There we go. And that's why it's called the Tabrizi clown horn. Okay, so continue. Turn to 160. Pretty sure that was the other option. All right, so we're going to 160. Here we go. Forgive me, I did not mean to startle you. The man seems nervous, and the open hand that is extended towards you is shaking quite visibly. With some caution, you accept the gesture of friendship and sit with the man at a tavern table. The place is deserted, save for a couple of mice gnawing at a large chunk of cheese. And there's a picture of said mouse. There he is. Another one of Gary's. Captain Kelman, not Kremen, Kelman, has instructed me to take you to the Green Scepter, but only if I'm sure that you are the Kai they call Lone Wolf. Can you prove your identity? Right now, there's a lot of options here, so listen carefully. One option. You decide that in order to prove to the man that you really are a Kai warrior, you must show him your mastery of one of your disciplines. If you wish to demonstrate your discipline of healing, mind blast, weapon skill, animal kinship, mind over matter, if you do not possess any of the above Kai skills, or you do not wish to demonstrate your special skill to this man, turn to 348. Seems a bit dodgy, got to be honest.
I would say, well, I mean, the rat's a bit of a. You can't turn that offer down, can you? Animal kinship, make it do a tap dance on the.
Well, we didn't pick animal kinship.
Oh, that's
So
right.
We could demonstrate healing.
Desert Phoenix.
Yeah, we could demonstrate healing, weapon skill, mind over matter. We do have.
Let's do that.
Or not demonstrate any skills at all. Now, I'm just saying this guy seems a bit iffy to me because he knows that I've got a Kai cloak on. People kind of know what they look like. They're a bit like Jedi cloaks, right? Why is he asking to see my abilities? I just think it's a bit odd.
Maybe it's just like wants a bit of a rise out of us. I don't know.
So you want to demonstrate mind over matter, or do you want to challenge him and not demonstrate anything?
Oh, you've I don't know. You've
be decisive.
In the works there. I'm not sure.
Be decisive, interior mind of Lance Nielsen's Kai Wolf person. Mind over matter. So then that was your original. Your original choice was mind over matter, so we'll go with that.
I want to see. I want to see what happens when we do that. So
all right, okay. Pointing at a jug of ale that is resting on the bar, you tell the sailor to observe it closely. Closing your eyes, you concentrate on the jug until you can picture it clearly in your mind's eye. As you will the jug to rise up in the air, you hear the sailor's gasp in amazement. So there you go. I've just moved the jug. So turn to page 268. Okay, here we go. 268. Uh-oh. Mate, it's all gone a bit Pete Tong. You are indeed a Kai warrior, says the sailor. But the astonishment on his face is quickly replaced by an unpleasant sneer. Or should I say, you were? As he speaks, the door crashes open behind your back. You glance over to see 3 harbour thugs. And we've got a great picture of these said thugs. Take a look. There they are. Is
that Richard O'Brien on the left?
It's that. Yeah, that could be Richard O'Brien. That could also be Richard Roberts.
Fucking Roy Chubby Brown in the middle.
Who's that? Who's that there?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. So I told you, I sensed it was a trick. Told you. And the last time I played this book, by the way, was in the 80s. So I'm not remembering anything because all those years are all like 1,000 fragments of glass. It's anyway. So here's what happens: the harbour thugs, you fight them as one. They've got a combat skill of 16. We have a combat skill of 24 and endurance of 25. You may evade after 2 rounds of combat by running through a side door of the tavern. If you win this combat, okay, so we're going to do 2 rounds and then we're going to decide whether to run out or continue fighting and winning. Now, okay, so time to use the magical dice app. Here we go. So obviously if you move your hands in conjunction with the rolling of the dice, Alex, that would be a nice effect. All right. So this is the dice rolling app, and it's all done on a D10, all the combat. So what you do is you look at your combat rating, which in the case of us is 18 plus 5. So we have a combat rating of 23 against their 16. So at the back of the book, there is a combat ratio results table. Here it is. And what you do is you look at the combat ratio, how many points above or below you are. So they've got a combat rating of 18. We've got a combat rating of, was it 23? Did I say 23? So we.
Did you say?
I thought it was 24, but I think it's actually, yeah, it's 18 plus 5, so we're 23. The Fuglies are 16. So that is a difference of 7. So we're rolling on the +7, +8 chart. So here we go. We're going to roll a die. So Alex, if you would do the magic hand rub, please. Okay, here we go. And we're throwing the dice. We have rolled a 2. That's a bit low. So on the first round of combat, they take 7 points of damage and we take 3. Can you keep a note of that for me?
Yeah.
All right. So we've taken 3. They've taken 7. And now this is the second round of combat, after which we can choose to escape if we want.
Go on.
All right. We have rolled a 5. That's all right. They have taken 10. We have taken 2. So we've taken 5 in total. They've taken 17 in total. Yeah, they've taken 17 in total. We've taken 5. I reckon it's up to you. We can flee.
Didn't
I
you
reckon
just say 7
yeah.
in the previous roll.
In the previous roll, they took 7.
Right.
This time they've taken 10, so a total of 17.
Yeah.
In the previous roll, we took 3, and in this roll, we've taken 2, so we've taken 5.
Fine.
They've only got endurance of 25, so we might kill them on the next go.
Just give it a shot.
I think, yeah, because I want to, because you can search them afterwards and stuff like that. Okay, third round, it's another 5, so that's another 10 damage for them, and so that means that they've taken 27 in total. They are dead, and we have taken 2. So the total damage that we took was 7. So that means that our current endurance is now 15. So we're going to want to heal that back up, because I recommend never going below 20. Okay, so all right. So we won that combat. So we're going to stop that. And it said, if we win the combat, go to 333. Okay. Let's see what happens. We should have some sort of fantasy soundtrack playing while we're doing this.
We should.
The sailor who claimed to... Here we go. The sailor who claimed to be the first mate, Ronan, escaped during the fight. Hurriedly, you search the bodies of the harbour thugs, but find nothing of value. However, you do notice that each of them has a tattoo of a writhing serpent on their left wrist. So they must be from Clan. They must be from Clan Trouser Snake.
Yeah.
Whoever sent them to kill you must already know of the grave importance of your quest. You leave the tavern by the side door and discover the dead body of a sailor lying beneath some stairs. Inside the collar of his jacket, he bears the name Ronan. He's the real guy, and he's been murdered. You cover the body and turn towards the quayside, where the green scepter is anchored 300 yards away. If you wish to use one of the many small boats that are roped to the quayside, go to 300. Or if you wish to hunt down the imposter who pretended to be Ronan, turn to 67. Do
you think he'll come back to bite us? Do you think?
I think we should try and hunt him down, because I'd like to try and do everything I can to avoid going on the boat. because that's the way that you always get pushed. But I'm sure there must be another way to get there.
Right.
Should we try and find him?
Agreed. Let's do it.
Try and find him. Okay. Anyone who steals the name from our good singer Ronan Keating must be eliminated. Quickly, you deduce the imposter must have escaped by the main entrance to the tavern. No shit. We went out the side door. He went out the other one. Okay.
Desert Phoenix says they're probably slithering goons.
We searched the buildings and busy alleyways that border the quayside, but we find no sign of him at all. Rather than waste any more time in a fruitless search, you return to the quayside, an entire small coracle, I guess that's like a tiny boat, and row towards the Green Scepter. So basically that search was fruitless, and we've still been forced to go back to the ship. Okay, that's kind of crap.
But you exercise your literacy skills for all of a paragraph.
Yes, I do. I use something called abbreviation in order to speed us along in the text. Okay. As you paddle towards the sleek trade caravel, I guess the Green Scepter, you notice to your surprise that the boarding ladder is being pulled up. A mean-looking sailor leans over the gunwale and curses at you. He seems to think you're a desperate refugee attempting to stow away on board, but when you shout that you are the lone wolf and you were ambushed by an imposter, the ladder is soon lowered again.
Hey, I'm the lone wolf. Put the ladder down.
That sounds more like the lone Todd. Lone wolf. We're gonna be at sea. We're gonna be at sea for a while, and it could get lonely.
Roger, the cabin boy. Sorry, low hanging fruit.
No, man, it's good. As you know, if you're at sea, it doesn't count. So, haul anchor. Okay, so basically, as you climb on board the ship, you're met by a tall man in a blue uniform with a trimmed gold braid, bright red hair, and a curly red beard. Alex, now's your chance to play this role. He's the captain. The crew spring into action as if their very lives depended on it. Well, of course they do if you're in charge. And Slytherin, isn't that Harry Potter? Slytherin goons.
So, okay. Yeah, Death Eater, Voldemort groupies.
All right. The captain says, there is evil treachery at work here. Clearly the enemy already has plans afoot to thwart your quest. Care to say that line as the captain? Yeah, that's good. Excellent.
Father Jack.
It seems you have lost the element of surprise, and I have lost a courageous first mate. His name was Dave, and I looked at him fondly during the sunset that sank off the brow of the ship as we plunged into the ocean waves. Doesn't say that. Okay. Let us hope we lose nothing more during the voyage to Durenor. Only our virginity. May our voyage be swift and safe. Okay. You finish your wonlo. I don't know what a wonlo is. That must be some kind of food.
Is it like a crispy? Is it like a wonton?
And leave the captain's cabin. I say we got acquainted quickly, didn't we? To go up on deck. Ooh. Walking with a slight limp. You're just in time to see the silhouette of Holmgard on the distant horizon. With feelings of mixed pride and apprehension. Ooh. You descend the stairway to your cabin as the tallest tower disappears from view. Oh, and there's another picture. We know a picture about that, don't we, Johnny? There it is. So there's the silhouette and a city. Okay, few options now, Alex. Pick a number from the random number table. Okay, well, we've got a dice roll to do. So let's share screens once more with our super advanced technology die rolling app. Okay, it's quite cool this though. So, gonna throw. It's 7. If you roll a 6 or a 7, go to 22. Okay. Oh, considering how much talking I'm doing, I'm coughing a little bit less, which is good.
How are you feeling?
Rough. But I haven't slept before 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. since before Christmas. So
Right.
So I'm quite grateful to be doing this with you, because doing this on my own wouldn't be any fun. Okay. Early the next morning, you are awoken by the cry of the deck watchman. Wreckage off the starboard bow. He clearly comes from...
You've all got the same voice.
Have they? Well, you can do some of them. Quickly dressing. You climb on board the deck and join the captain at the ship's rail. That's you, stroking your beard in a captain-like fashion. Pick a number from the random table. Oh, we've got to do it again. I should have just kept the dice up, shouldn't I? Okay. So, here we go. It's a 3, my favourite number. If your number is 0 to 4, turn to page 119.
Listen for it.
Just seen a picture of an armoured mouse, but that must be for a different bit. Okay. I've just seen a bit where it says, if you possess the Kai discipline of animal friendship. We don't. Right. Shattered beams and tangles of rigging, pieces of planking and torn sails. You notice a body clinging to a shattered hatch cover. You draw the crew's attention to the survivor. The poor man is brought aboard. His eyes flicker open. Pirates! Pirates! Is all he's able to say before he loses consciousness and collapses on the deck. 2 crewmen wrap the man up in a large blanket and take him below. I thought they were about to chuck him overboard. He has suffered many deep wounds and is very close to death. Must have tried to make a film with Paul Ray and Chris. Okay. The crime bears the mark of the Lakuri pirates, bottom feeders who swim the channel of the Cannes Film Festival looking for wary filmmakers to plunder their wares. They must be in search of rich cargo. Well, good luck with that. As the ship resumes its course for Durenor, you cannot help but wonder if that rich cargo could be you. So maybe people are out looking for your ship, trying to destroy it. Turn to 240.
Or maybe they're just looking for ways to provide for their family, you know.
Well, that could be. I mean, you know, don't judge the bad guy who works in the villain's lair and has to wear a red jumpsuit every day. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Okay, well, we haven't got to roll the dice, so let's take this down for a second. Okay, I might put the map back up, which might be useful in a minute. After 3 uneventful days at sea, well, they went quick, didn't they? You find shipboard life rather dull and dreary. If you have the Kai discipline of healing, any endurance points that you have lost on your adventure so far are restored. This brings your points back to your initial level. Great, so we got all of our points back for just one use of that. So that's now down to 9.
Ace.
Yeah, that's pretty good, because I guess we rested in bed, and so we're back to 22. Okay. What do I do with that rubber or eraser?
It's all that shagging.
Well, clearly. Yeah, those visits to the captain's cabin daily have clearly paid off.
Those wonders.
On the afternoon of the 4th day, you're talking with an injured sailor up on the main deck, also clearly been visiting the captain's cabin, when you smell smoke seeping out from the ship's hold. Well, it looks like there's a fire. If you wish to enter the hold and investigate, turn to 29. If you decide to shout fire and raise the alarm, or do you want to go and warn the captain? I think we should just shout fire straight away. What do you think?
Yeah.
Fire, investigate, or go to the captain's cabin and get another pork sandwich.
I'm quite interested in the captain's cabin. I think that'll take us down an interesting route.
All right, go and warn the captain then.
There's my gut.
You'd better be right about this, Breezy. I'm taking an awful risk, Vader. This had better work. Okay, as you burst into the cabin, the captain looks up in surprise from his chart table. Bent over it is a young cabin boy. No, not really. Fire in the hold, you gasp, breathless from your run. In an instant, the captain is through the door and ordering the crew to fill buckets with water and gather blankets to smother stuff. By the time you reach the forward hold, the smoke is dense. Suddenly, the ship's crew are thrown into a frenzy as flames erupt from the hatch cover. It takes over an hour to contain the blaze. The damage is extensive. The ship's entire food store has been destroyed. And the hull has been badly weakened by fire.
Oh, fuck.
The captain climbs out of the smoking hold and approaches you. He's carrying something in a bundle tucked under his arm. We must talk in private, my liege. And without replying, you turn and follow him to his cabin. Why do we always end up going back to the captain's cabin?
See, I reckon that if we said fire, fire, fire,
Yeah.
the people on board wouldn't have taken us seriously.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, right. Well, here we go.
Know.
After taking care to close his cabin door, the captain opens the mysterious bundle and tips the contents onto his chart table. There's a large charred earthenware jug, several blackened rags. They give off a strange, oily smell. This was no accidental fire, he says solemnly. This was an act of sabotage. I found the initials AK on this jug. Don't know who that could belong to. Someone on the ship is preparing to endanger his own life and stop us from reaching Durenor. You both stare at the burnt rags as if they hold the answer to your question. Suddenly a cry from up on deck breaks the silence. Ship ahoy! Ship off the port bow! That was a different voice for you.
No.
No? Okay. Ship ahoy, me good mateys, off of the port bow. How's that one? Grabbing his sword and telescope, the captain disappears through the cabin door to the deck above. If you wish to follow him, turn to page 175. But I know what you're going to choose. If you choose this opportunity to search his cabin, turn to page 315. Well, you wanted to search his cabin, didn't you?
See what he's got. Turn out his drawers.
Better not be like a cache of sex toys. Let's have a look. 315. Keeping an eye on the door, you quickly search through the drawers of the ornate table. There does not appear to be anything unusual about its contents. You find mainly charts and so on. You're about to abandon this fruitless search when you notice a small lever hidden below the tabletop. You push it open to reveal a small wooden box with an ornate brass lock. If you possess the Kai discipline of mind over matter, turn to blah blah. Now, it also gives us the option to replace the box, but I think we want to do mind over matter, don't we? And see what's in the box.
Every time.
No point searching. You force your powers of concentration on the small brass lock. After a few seconds, you hear a faint click that tells you that the inner latch is now unlocked. Inside, you find a scroll bearing the royal seal of Summerland containing confidential orders about your mission to Durenor. As you put the box back into its hiding place, you notice that a deadly trap is hidden in the lid. Your Kai discipline has saved you from the swift death of a poisoned needle. Because there was also an option to force it open, and I think if we'd done that, we would have died. Closing the drawers, quickly you check that nothing looks as though it's been disturbed. So basically what we've done there is we've confirmed that the captain is loyal, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's got, basically, it contained the orders confirming his mission, which he's kept secret from the rest of the crew. So he's not the one who's behind the shenanigans, shall we say. Okay, so turn to 175. It seems our bird has flown the coop, says the captain. Pointing to a longboat moving swiftly towards another ship on the horizon. So the person who was on the boat causing the sabotage
right.
has taken like the little dinghy boat and is fleeing towards another ship.
So he stabbed himself 12 times to seem like he'd been attacked by pirates, and then he span a story and burnt the boat down.
No, this guy hasn't stabbed himself. He's just legged it. The boat flies no flag, and her hull is a strange shape. Is it the good ship Maury from Big Mouth, maybe? You watch as the longboat reaches the mysterious ship, and then, as if by magic, a thick sea fog appears from nowhere and engulfs the vessel. Moments later, both the ship and the fog have disappeared. So they've done a David Blaine. We've got to pick a random number from our table again. Oh, man. Do you know, I've had this cough since early December. Okay, so here we go. Let's roll this dice. Now, I was supposed to go to the theatre tonight, but
I thought that was tomorrow.
No, it was tonight. But I just I was at the hospital this morning, and they just advised me to stay in and rest. And obviously play a big long game on a live stream. That was definitely part of the plan. So I have to do something, man, because I go mad otherwise. If the number is 5 to 9, turn to page 209. Okay, we're blitzing this, Alex. We're blitzing it. Okay, we have. The crew start to whisper. You hear the words "ghost ship" and "curse voyage." But the muttering stops when the captain's voice booms out an order for all hands on deck. Men, we're 3 days' sail from Port Bax. The fire has robbed our provisions. We shall have to steer a new course for Raggadorn. Now, do you remember Raggadorn on that map was...
It's the middle, above the wildlands, right?
Yeah, that's right. It is indeed. So that's where we're going to be going, according to the captain. So that's that middle place there. Oh, look, the mouse is working again. There you go. As you return to your cabin, and it says, we're 8 hours away from Raggadorn. My orders are to see you safely to Port Bax and pass you into the care of the Summerland Council. Oh, sorry, that's what he says to me.
Summerling ding. What was it? Summerling.
Summerland, yeah. Because this whole continent is called Magnamund, but this continent of Magnamund is called, so it's the world of Magnamund. This is Northern Magnamund, and within Northern Magnamund there are a couple of different countries and continents, and this continent is called Summerland, and Summerland is made up of Durenor, it's made up of Holmgard, and I think a couple of other places as well. So it's got great world building, this whole thing, because this map is massive. As you get different books, this map expands.
How many books?
Well, I think there are 30 altogether.
Wow.
They're writing the last 3 now, because I think it's going to end ultimately with you facing the bad guy. And every time when I got to book 10, I thought book 10 is going to be the last one.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed that it wasn't the last book. I thought there'd probably be 10 books.
A lot.
And I thought I was going to fight the evil lord, and it wasn't.
Right.
So
you started writing these in what, the 80s? Did you say?
Yeah, they were from. I think they started around 87, 88, and went through to like the mid to late 90s. Right. Yeah, and so I met him. I played a war game with the guy who did this, because he used to organise really big games. There was a group of gamers, and you had to be invited into that group. And they all had really big houses. They all had massive games rooms with like huge sections of terrain, massively painted armies, all this kind of stuff. And I mean, the guy John, whose house I went to, I don't think he's still alive anymore, because he would have been 70 then, and that was in 2004.
Oh, he might be.
Yeah, maybe. Probably not though. He had a really impressive collection of stuff. Right, let us continue. So, as you return to your cabin, the king's words haunt you. 40 days, lone wolf. We only have strength to stand against them for 40 days. They mostly come out at night. Mostly. Okay. You do not have long to complete your dangerous mission. Turn to 197. All right, here we go. Okay. Oh, I thought there was another choice for you, Alex, but no, we've got to roll another dice. All right, so present. Share screen. Actually, you know what? I want to put this up. Let me put this one up here. So I've got all of them on this thing. Put it next to the die roller. Let's get out there. Fire on the water. Where's that? Yeah, there we go. Good. Right. Okay. So,
do you remember when you made that? You had that poster made for me. I can't remember who made it. Was it Lone Wolf or The Wolf?
Oh yeah, no, I got that made for you. I think Richard Roberts helped me with that.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Right. So we've got the map here. We've got the die roller here, so I can just click one from the other. All right. Okay. God, it's almost as if I thought about that earlier. Okay, here we go. So throw dice. It's 5. So we could have 1 to 4 takes us to one page. 5 to 9 takes us to another page. If we rolled a 0, we would have gone to another page. So I'm kind of curious to know what the 0 is.
That's not what we rolled.
No, so we can't look, can we? That would be peaking. All right. So the 78 is where we're going. Okay, and you have got a choice to make, Alex. Hang on a minute. What's just happened? Yeah, right. So you dive backwards. So I think it's probably good that we didn't roll the 10, but only just in time to avoid the falling mast as it smashes through the deck. You stagger to your feet and peer into the mass of shattered timbers. Pinned beneath the broken mast is the lifeless body of Captain Krellman. So it's like somebody sabotaged the mast. As you stare in horror at the dead captain, a violent shudder reverberates along the deck. As the violent storm breaks open the already damaged hull of the Green Scepter. As the ship splits apart, you're hurtled over the rail and into the raging sea. This has come a bit out of nowhere. Am I sure that I got that right? Let me just double check. Don't want to.
Have we died?
No, because we got a couple of options coming up. But it just seems like we went from the decision of, okay, we're going to go to that town, to suddenly we're in a storm, and the captain's been killed. It's a bit of a big jump. I just want to make sure I didn't get one of the numbers wrong. Every so often, we should make a note of where we are, because the number before this, I already moved the chord, so I lost it. Okay, right. Sorry, I didn't read out the bit of text. So it said, as dawn breaks, a fierce storm rises. You're awoken by the violent rocking of the ship. The floor of your cabin is awash. Shouts of the crew can hardly be heard above the terrible howling of the wind. You're joined on deck by the captain. As you start to go down the ladder, there's a thunderous crack. Okay, fine. So the mast fell. The captain's dead. When you eventually regain consciousness, the storm has passed. The only remaining trace of the Green Scepter is the wooden hatch upon which you're lying. So we're currently doing a Kate Winslet from Titanic. By the position of the sun and sky, you must reckon it's late afternoon. In the distance, you can see a small fishing boat, and beyond it, the coastline stretches out along the horizon. If you wish to use your Kai cloak to signal the boat, turn 278. If you want to ignore the boat and attempt to paddle towards the shoreline, turn to 337. Paddling sounds quite far.
Oh,
What do you reckon?
look, I'm not sure. These guys on the boat. Was there any details about the boat? Sorry,
It's a local fishing boat,
local
like a
fishing boat.
tiny fishing boat. 2-man
Ooh.
casting their nets out. Remember,
Sounds
we've just survived the storm, so I don't think it's a boat like waiting to kill us.
Yeah. Let's go with the boat. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Because we try to paddle. That's going to be exhausting, isn't it? We're not half man, half fish. Not yet. That's in the 5th book.
Oh, really?
Okay.
You turn into a half fish, half man?
No, I'm joking. Maybe, I don't know. It could be in book 11. Right. Desperately, you wave your cloak above your head until you're near exhaustion. Roll a dice. 6. If the number you've picked is 0 to 6, turn to page 41. Okay. See what happens. They better have spotted us. You're in luck. Oh, and we got a picture of the boat. The boat's seen your distress signal. It's a small fishing boat from the port of Raggadorn. The fishermen are a rough-looking bunch, but they wrap you in a warm blanket and offer you some food. The captain suggests you try and get some sleep.
Red burger.
As it will be 2 or 3 hours before they arrive back at Raggadorn. If you wish to take his advice, restore 1 endurance point. If you wish to stay awake and keep watch for any other survivors, turn to page 251. So go to sleep or stay awake for now.
That's as good as certain death in these games.
I feel like we should stay awake for the moment. Yeah, just in case. There is a picture of the boat. There it is. Little fishing affair. Let's stay awake. And plus, if there are other survivors, we're kind of like a Jedi type guy, so we'd sort of be duty bound to try and pick them up. It's nearly dark when the small fishing boat passes through the harbour entrance of Raggadorn, so I guess we didn't pick up any survivors. No. Then you notice that 3 of the fishermen are acting very suspiciously. They whisper to each other, and their eyes often glance towards your money pouch. Oh, yeah, we've got 10 gold pieces. As the boat sails into the estuary of the River Dawn. So we're now on land, and we're here in this place. They surround you and demand that you hand over all your gold. You're able to fight them when an unexpected blow from behind knocks you to the deck. You see one of the fishermen raises his foot, strikes your head, and suddenly everything fades to darkness. I suspect if we'd gone to sleep, it wouldn't have boded well for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might not have got knocked out.
When you're awake, you find yourself lying beneath a wooden jetty with a foul stench. You've been knocked unconscious. Jesus Christ, we've lost everything. Listen to this. As you stand, your head throbs violently. You've lost your backpack items, all your weapons. The seal of Hammerdal is missing. All your other special items are still in your possession. So I've still got my silver crystal pendant. I've still got the lamp spur, and I've still got the other thing. With a groan of despair, you climb out of the slimy water. Can you give us a groan of despair, Alex?
Is that's an item that we still have, or is that an actual groan of despair?
No, it says with a groan of despair, you climb out of the slimy water and pull yourself onto the jetty.
Oh, you want me to do it? Oh.
Yeah, you kind of killed the moment there. Can you come in a bit faster next time? Oh, mate, your name's here. Look, it says, looking up, you see a hanging sign that is creaking in the briny breeze. So we could call you Briny Breezy from now on. And the
Salty.
sign says, "Welcome to Raggadorn." Well, fucking welcome indeed, bastards. They just nicked all our shit. Okay, mate, here now. So I reckon we've got to try and find the stuff. You fear all the rumours you've heard about this place are true. It's nearly dark. It's started to rain. You must find the seal of Hammerdal if you're to persuade the Durenor to give you the Sommerswerd. Looking around, you see a large market square with a stone signpost at its centre, indicating various roads. Okay, Alex, we've got 4 choices.
Right.
If you wish to go east along Barnacle Street, so choice number 1, Barnacle Street. Choose to go south along East Bank Wharf. Mate, the next one's got to be it. If you decide to go north along Booty Walk, Booty spelt B-O-T-B-O-O-T-Y. If you'd rather go west back to the jetty and search for the fishing boat. So, do we want to search for the fishing boat? Go to Booty Walk, East Bank Walk, or Barnacle Street?
I reckon Barnacle Street.
Barnacle over Booty, really? Don't you think that like Booty Walk might be where people go to sell stuff they've stolen?
You have read this before, so I'm going to go with that.
You're going to go which one? Barnacle?
Booty.
Booty. All right.
Butaris.
Well, yeah, you can never go wrong with a good Butaris. Okay, 129. You pass several narrow-fronted warehouses that line the waterfront before coming to the harbour wall. Here the roadway bears sharply into a thoroughfare called Tomb Street. Nice. Marching along the centre of this street, there are 4 heavily armed city guards. Rather than take the risk of being stopped and possibly arrested, you dodge into an alleyway. The guards suddenly halt opposite the entrance to the alley. You hold your breath and remain completely still. Behind you is a small window. It's open, and you see a crowded tavern. Without a moment's hesitation, you climb through the window as quickly as you can. Turn to 4. Okay, so we're now diving into a crowded tavern. Tavern is full of brigands and drunks, deadbeat crews of disreputable trading ships moored at the jetty. Several of this carousing crowd are testing their strength in arm wrestling contest. They're so preoccupied with their drinking and betting, no one pays you any attention. Suddenly, in the far corner of this foul-smelling alehouse, you catch sight of the fishermen who robbed you. They're seated at a round table, covered with spilled pipe tobacco and empty ale tankards. In fact, there's a picture of the contents of this table. Wait, hold on. Oh no, that's the shit. Other page. My apologies. Here, there we go. There's the contents of their table. Well, we found the guys. Okay, here are the options. You are sorely aware of the fact that if you reach Durenor in time, you must retrieve the seal of Hammerdal and your stolen gold. If you wish to confront the fisherman, if you decide to talk to the innkeeper, if you try to win some gold at arm wrestling, so confront fisherman, talk to the innkeeper,
right,
or do some arm wrestling.
So,
what do you reckon?
Isn't there an option for something like saying, like, I don't know, I think Muslims should be allowed into this country, and just let everybody start fighting? Seems like one of those places.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a bit racist, Alex. But I get where you were coming from. You mean say something deliberately provocative in order to cause a fight? Just to clarify that.
It was obvious.
Yeah, well, fuck me, man. These days, you never know, do you? You've got to be careful. You got overthink everything. It's silly, really. But
arm wrestling.
But don't you think if we do the arm wrestling, the fishermen are going to recognise us and then make good their escape? Is it worth having a conversation?
Oh,
What about a conversation with the innkeeper first, just to maybe ascertain the situation?
yes.
There is no option to ask, unfortunately.
Let's have a chat then.
All right, innkeeper, 342. And he's probably going to turn around and say, "Are you local?" Right. Well, there's a picture of the innkeeper, and I've got to show it to you. Looks like one of our friends again. There he is.
Oh, cool. I like it.
He's a mountain of a man, completely bald, with several gold rings hanging from each ear. He looks at you with deep suspicion and says, "Ale is 1 gold crown, a bed for the night is 2. What do you want?" "If you wish to buy some ale, pay the innkeeper 1 gold crown." "Well, we can't do that because we haven't got any gold crowns. So actually, we've only got one option, which is you merely wish to ask him a little bit about Raggadorn, turn to 226. Well, that's what we have to do because we haven't got any money because those guys took it. I feel like maybe we've gone the wrong route now. But
Mate, I'm gonna have to shoot off shortly.
how long you got left? What time is it? Can you do till 11? That's 18 minutes.
10-2. Is that all right?
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Sorry, mate. I forgot what the time was and I wasn't sure how long.
Oh yeah, I'm shattered. Sorry.
No, that's all right. Okay, all right. So the innkeeper speaks with a gruff accent of a native Raggadorian.
No.
Yeah.
You do that one.
I just did it. You discover from him that the seaport is ruled by Lachlan, the son of Killian the Overlord, who died 3 years ago in the dreadful Red Death Plague. The Red Plague, Alex. That could be you. All right, let's stop
The
sharing
Red Rash.
The Red Rash Plague. The innkeeper does not speak highly of Lachlan, who he refers to as the Prince of Thieves. And interestingly enough, I think this book was written before Prince of Thieves came out. So he and his mercenaries bled our people dry with heavy taxes. If you complain, you'll end up floating in the harbour. The big man shakes his head and pours another round of ale for the drunken soldiers. Okay. Well, if you want to pay the innkeeper for a room for the night or do arm wrestling, we're going to have to do the arm wrestling. So well, at least we found out a bit of we found out a bit of information. 276. I have a feeling that if we confronted the sailors, it probably wouldn't have gone well. Okay. As you face the sailor across the table, bets are being made throughout the tavern. He's so confident of winning that he'll pay you 5 gold crowns to anyone who beats him. "Be careful, stranger. He's an evil man. Breaks the arms of anyone who goes against him." All right. So if you have the Kai discipline of Mind Blast, well, we don't. We've got Mind Shield we picked, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. If you do not have this skill, you conduct the wrestling contest as if it was regular combat, but you're not using a weapon. So he's got combat skill of 18. And our combat skill is 18 when we don't have our bonuses. So, because shield we don't have the shield and we don't have the sword anyway, and we're not using a sword. So it's even Stevens, mate. Okay, so
I say, there's 6 minutes before I got to shoot off. Let's just go for it, I reckon.
Yeah, well, we have to go for it. We haven't got a choice now. All right, here we go. So, okay, use your magic hands, Alex. Oh, that was going to be a 10. And his endurance is 25, and our endurance is only 22. So on a 0-0 with a roll of 4, he's taken 6 damage, so he's down to 19. We've taken 4, so we're down to 18. Fuck me, that's not good, is it? Need to get a high die roll here. Mind you, this is just to see who wins the contest. We're not actually losing these endurance points. So we're not actually getting injured. It's just this is how we resolve to see who wins. Oh, that was going to be a 9. That's a 5. Okay, it's still better than the last time. So he's lost another 7. So he's down. He was down to 19. So now he's down to 12. We've lost another 2, so we're down to 16. All right.
It's on.
Oh fuck no!
France.
That's 4. That's 4. That's 3 to him. He's down to 13. 5 to us. That's the same. I think it's the same. So we're both at 13. Ah, that's more like it. That's more like it. We lose nothing. He loses 11. Oh, like Stallone in Over the Top. One more should do it if we get a good one.
Come on.
Oh no. Okay.
No.
He's down to 7. We're down to 12.
Oof.
Oh,
come
sake.
on, man.
We're down to 7, and he's down to 4. I think we've done it. Yeah, he's beaten. He's beaten, but we went to 0, but he went to -1. So we just beat him. Bloody hell, Mind Blast would have been useful. So if you win the contest, go to 305. Okay, let's try and take it to the end of this tavern. We get 5 gold crowns. As you reach the tavern door, an ugly thug draws his sword, blocks your exit. You're just wondering what to do when there is a loud thud and the man keels over. Behind him, to your surprise, stands the serving girl with a large wooden club.
Sweet.
You thank her and race out the door into the darkened street beyond. After running for 10 minutes in the near darkness, you glimpse a large stable and a coach station in the murky gloom ahead. With the shouts of angry sailors still ringing in your ears, you enter this building and spend the night safely hidden in the hayloft above its stables. Okay, well that's a good place to end it then.
Yeah.
Part 1 of Fire in the Water. What do you think of it? Of the adventure? Of the world?
It's all right. I mean, it's, you know what, it's the company, isn't it? It's playing. I mean, you love these things and you're so passionate about them. So it's always good fun with you sort of hosting. I think it makes all the difference.
I actually, although I wanted to get the whole series and play it the whole way through, you know, even if I'd just done that at home on my own, it's actually a lot more fun doing it with someone else and kind of making the decisions together, which is a bit of a hoot. So I really enjoy that. I think Critical Drinkers stream is probably still going, so I might pop over on there and do some moderating. Mate, did you see my frigging gas and electric bill? £998.
It's nuts, man.
From October to February, and for most of October I wasn't here. The heating was not on, so like you know, everything was off. I've got to take umbrage with it. I mean, apart from that, we just can't afford it. What they need to put these companies back in public hands, because I bet the shareholders of these companies are laughing all the way to the bank, I imagine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did you like, before you go, let us quickly talk about this as you were involved. So there's the paratrooper cover for the first two screenplays. The guy on the left is a German Fallschirmjäger, and actually the kid who's modeling that uniform, he's not even 18 yet.
Yeah.
And that's great because it's like literally the story is told from this 18-year-old.
Yeah.
This 18-year-old. And then that's actor Jacob Anderton on the right. Yeah. Nice. Originally, he was in the Paratrooper pilot and did the read through and did a little bit of filming for the second unit. Originally, I was going to have the cover with their two faces in the middle, split down the middle, sort of one here and one here. But we did it, and it just kind of looked really weird. Didn't really work. So then I came up with the idea of putting Arnhem Bridge in it, which is so iconic, and coming up with that's a burning German plane at the top there on the top left from the invasion of Crete. So it's Crete and Arnhem are the two episodes, and definitely two of the best scripts I've ever written, and I don't think you've read those ones. No. So I look forward to hearing your thoughts. What you got coming up, mate? What have you been up to quickly before you go, and anything you want to promote or plug?
This is my plug section.
It's your plug section.
Oh, I haven't got anything to plug at the moment. I mean,
you're working at the Cirencester Theatre.
Barn Theatre, yeah.
The barn.
So, just busy away. Just busy. Marketing the show that we are producing at the moment. It's going to be coming out next week.
What is it?
It's a comedy, so it's Around the World in 80 Days with Phileas Fogg.
Yeah, that'd be. Who's playing Phineas? Who's playing Phineas?
It's a guy called Adam. I can't remember his second name, but he's
you're marketing the show, but you can't remember the name of the lead.
I know, I'm terrible. But, I know
you're not good. Okay,
he's brilliant. They all are actually. There's three of them, and they're multi-rolling, so they're diving in and out of different costumes and playing different characters. And
is it just a cast of three?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah,
must be a lot of fun for the actors though, because they're playing a whole.
Oh yeah. They love it.
Different characters there, you know.
I love it, and as I say, it's a comedy, so it's all sort of irreverent and light-hearted, and
right.
There's plenty of chance to sort of clown about and have fun, and good fun to watch as well.
Well, next Tuesday we have got Hollywood legend Irene Sue coming on. Now most people won't know her by name, but anybody of my kind of generation will have seen her in a number of movies, and she is of the kind of 60s and 70s Hollywood era, and she did a lot of films back in that kind of time, and here she is with John Wayne on the Green Berets.
Very cool.
So she was also in the Yin and Yang of Mr. Go with that none other than Jeff Bridges. Look how young he is there. Oh, yeah, and
can't get over that.
That's her with Buster Keaton.
I was going to say
in How to Stuff a Wild Bikini. What a name for a movie. And there she is with Elvis Presley. So this is who we're interviewing on the channel next Tuesday. I mean, just this is an actress from a golden era. There are not many people of her generation left. She still looks amazing. She's absolutely lovely. She gave me a call the other day, and Irene is coming to talk to us. And we also have one of the original cast of Lost in Space coming soon as well. The original Lost in Space, the show from the 60s. So the actress who played the daughter, we've got her coming on as well. I'm just waiting for her to get back to me with some dates, but yeah. So it's nice to we've interviewed quite a lot of male actors. I've only done, I think, 1 or 2 ladies, so it's great to have 2 2 bona fide Hollywood professionals coming on. And the other lady has worked with Roger Corman and was in Battle Beyond the Stars, funnily enough, and did most of her scenes with George Peppard. So
amazing.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to I really enjoy doing these interviews, and hopefully there'll be more to come.
Yeah.
Alex, it's been great having you on. Sorry I've been a bit poorly.
It's all right.
Spluttering and coughing my way through this stream, but yeah, it's good for my morale to
it's good fun, man. Let's do it again for sure.
I think you said you were free Saturday night, and yeah, so maybe we'll do something. Maybe we'll do a Chew the Fat on Saturday, and if we're both free.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it turns out, I'll tell you something that I do want to do a stream on. I want to do a stream on Asian action films. So the John Woo stuff, Hard Boiled, and then the Jackie Chan films like Better Tomorrow 2, The Killer, Chung Yao Fat. So I want to do some streams on action Asian cinema, which I think would be really good.
Yeah,
to do a stream
a lot of things to choose from.
There are. I was thinking about doing maybe like not necessarily
films.
a top 10, but just to pick out a couple. I've got a couple on Blu-ray I've ordered today, and yeah, there's quite a few of them that I haven't seen as well. So there's a fair few I haven't seen. But yeah, all right, man. Well, look, great to see you.
Great to see you, man.
Good to see you're still sporting the wolf look, and that you haven't lost your hair. Mine is going now. It's look at this. I've got this island tuft at the front. I'm not quite sure what's happening with it.
Still got the colour. Still got the colour though.
Yeah, still got the colour. My eyebrows are got a fair bit of grey in. We're all getting a bit older. But yeah, man. Anyway, all right. Listen, great to see you. Those people that tuned in, Desert Phoenix, thanks for popping up. I normally have a few more people coming into these, and they just pop in briefly and drop comments. So it's a bit of a quiet one tonight. But anyway, I have to do this as a regular slot. You see, then people know when it's on. And I don't normally like doing streams on Thursdays because that's when Critical Drinker's always got an open bar on, and I'm normally a moderator. So I try to do them. I try to do them on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. But so maybe we need to try and lock down something regular for this.
Yeah, we'll sort something out for sure.
All right.
Got to pick up where the story left off.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Part 2 of this will be happening next week at some point because I want to try and crack on with them a bit faster now. And if you're a creative, you've got a project to share, you're doing a crowdfunding campaign maybe or something like that. If it's an interesting project, drop it by us and we'll have a look at it. And Alex, we should do the Naked Filmmakers thing again because we can do them online like this.
I suppose so. Yeah. Would we do Indiegogo Kickstarter or would we do something totally different?
All of them, I think. Any of them. It just depends on the project, doesn't it?
Yeah. Seek out those independent filmmakers wherever they are these days.
I think that would be a good thing to do because it connected us with some really great people last time.
It's true.
And some of them are outcasts now. So all right. Well, look, those people that were watching, thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and we'll see you again soon. Don't forget, 31st of January definitely is the next Tuesday. That's happening at 9:30, a bit later than normal. And we'll see you there. Just don't forget to tell the people that you care about that you love them.